In this tutorial, we're going to review advanced checkout types. Those would include taking tips from a customer, cash checkouts, paying with a smartphone, splitting payments, using custom payment methods, and paying with a gift card, and then finally, paying with a saved credit card on file. Let's start with tips. If you've enabled tips in this system, you will see a tipping interface as part of checkout. Let's go ahead and add some products to the cart, a bottle of Pinot Noir and a bottle of Chenin Blanc. And we're going to go ahead and tap the checkout button. Here we will select the payment option. So if they want to pay with a credit card, I will go ahead and tap that. And here's where you would turn the point of sale to the customer, and the customer takes over at this point. They can see their order summary. There's 2 products. They can see the taxes and the total. They will click continue. And then they get asked the question, would you like to tip? I have 3 different tips preset in here, a 10%, a 15%, and a 20%. And of course, they have the option not to tip, so they can tap the no tip button. Or they can put in a custom tip amount if they don't want to tip one of these predetermined options. Let's go ahead and tip the 15%. And here's where we will take the transaction. So they would tap, insert, or swipe their card, and then they would move forward. Let's go back and look at a different type of transaction. Here we'll click the checkout button, and let's look at what a cash checkout might look like. Instead of using a credit card, we would tap the cash option. And with cash, you don't have the ability to do a tip. You'd have to have a tip jar or something like that if they wanted to tip with cash. But you can't take a cash tip. You can only take tips through the point of sale system specifically if you're using a credit card or some other digital payment type like Apple Pay or Google Pay. What Shopify does present you with is some items of the amounts received. So they could give you exact $68.36, or maybe they give you $69 or $70 or $80. It's kind of guessing what they might give you. Let's pretend like the customer gave us $80. And here we go. We have $11.64 due. We can email the receipt, text a receipt, print the receipt if we have the printer available. At this point, my cash drawer would open. We would give the customer their $11.64 back, and then we would click done on this order. Now let's say if we wanted to pay by phone. I'll go ahead and do the same order, Pinot Noir, Chenin Blanc. We're going to check out. Now here, credit or debit card is what we would use for a Apple Pay or some kind of device payment. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's going to turn to the customer. We're going to review the order. Let's go ahead and tip again 15%. And here's where I would tap my phone onto the card reader. And I have, you can't see this, but on my phone, I have Apple Pay pops up because I have an iPhone. And now I can double click my phone to pay. I'm going to put in my passcode on my phone. I'm going to hold it near the reader again. And now it's payment. Payment is processing. It's completing the payment. And now my payment was approved. And that again was using my phone to do that payment. Let's do no receipt. We will now return this back to the POS staff member, and then they would continue. The next option would be if you wanted to split payments across 2 different customers. And it doesn't have to be 2, it could even be more than 2. So let's go 2 bottles of Pinot Noir, 2 bottles of Chenin Blanc. We're going to go to checkout. And here's where at the very bottom, we can use the split payment option. I'm going to tap that. And for payment 1, let's say it's split across 2 people. The first person wants to pay $50. So we're going to tap $50, hide the keyboard. Let's say they want to pay with cash. We're going to process that first payment. Now the second payment, what's left is $86.71. Let's say they also want to pay in cash. They gave me $90. Payment was approved. And when we're done with this split payment, we can click done. And now we have 2 transactions on that split payment. We can also pay with a gift card. If you're selling gift cards and a customer comes in with a gift card, we'll do 1 bottle of Pinot Noir, 1 bottle of Chenin Blanc again. We're going to go to checkout. Here we will select the gift card option. It's going to use the iPad's camera where we can scan the gift card QR code, which we have here. Now we can see I can redeem the $50 balance of that card. There is an additional payment of $18.36. So what we want to do is pay with cash for that one as well. And now we have, again, 2 payments on this, one with a gift card of $50. Payment number 2 was in cash. The final advanced checkout is using a saved card on file. This is where if there is a club member who comes in and they already have a card on file, if they want to use that card on file to make their payment, you can do that as well. There are a couple extra steps, and you have to make those steps before you go to checkout. So let's go ahead and build the same order: 1 bottle of Pinot Noir, 1 bottle of Chenin Blanc. Now, in order to access members' credit cards, we're going to swipe over to our smart grid that has the action tiles on it. And we're going to tap the Bloom tile over here on the left, Members and Benefits. This is going to bring up the Bloom interface where we'll be able to search for our customers and use the card on file. So let's go ahead and search for Bowers again. Let's see if he is in the system. And there's Kevin Bowers. We can see that he is a member. We're going to go ahead and tap on Kevin. What that brings up is Kevin's customer detail view is what we call it. We can see a little bit of detail on the left. We can see that he is in fact a member. Over on the right though, we also have a similar cart interface. We don't have anything in the cart at this point. So what we would need to do is actually add Kevin to the cart, because we don't have anything in the cart in order to have a transaction on. So we're going to go ahead and connect Kevin to that cart interface that we had already built. And here we can see it has brought in the 1 bottle of Pinot Noir and 1 bottle of Chenin Blanc that was already in the cart that we had built before. So now we can see below, Kevin has a card ending in 4242 that expires on April 2024. If we want to use that card for this transaction, all we need to do is tap Use Card. We can see that the payment was successfully authorized, and it's providing us instructions on what to do next. Here's where we have to complete this transaction using the Shopify checkout like we've seen before. So we're going to go ahead and continue to complete this order. One thing that we notice on the cart, we have a new section with additional details. Here we can see the payment authorization ID, and we can see the POS cart ID. The reason why those are there is because when we complete this checkout, it will attach the transaction to this cart, ensuring that the order is created correctly in Shopify. I'm going to go ahead and tap the checkout button. And here's where we would use the Bloom option to complete this payment. We want to accept this payment through the Bloom app, and so we're just going to mark it as paid. And again, we have the same interface that we've seen before. We can now email the receipt, we can print the receipt, we can see that there has been a payment captured through the Bloom payment gateway for $68.36, and we can click Done, and that takes us back to where we started. That concludes the advanced checkout features. Thanks for watching.